Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more news and latest Canadian immigration updates by Blue Eye Immigration.
Hello everyone, today's we are talking about Canada Express Entry 2023. 5 Canadian provinces have nominated candidates to apply for nomination under the Provincial Nominee Program, PP, this week. The PNP allows all Canadian provinces and territories, except Quebec and Nunavut, to select the economic immigration candidates that they feel are best suited to integrate into the provincial workforce and economically establish within the province. The program has seen significant success since it began in 1998 and is now the most prominent pathway for admissions of economic immigrants in the Immigration Levels Plan. Canada will admit 117,500 candidates through the PNP each year by the end of 2025. Provincial governments can hold draws as frequently, or infrequently, as needed. There is no cap on the number of PNP candidates invited in each draw, provided that the province does not exceed the number of invitations it is allocated by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC. Provincial Immigration Results May 13 to 19. On May 16, British Columbia invited 202 candidates in 3 draws. There were 162 candidates invited from 3 streams in a general draw, meaning there was no occupation targeted. Candidates in the skilled worker category required a minimum score of 104, international graduates needed a score of 107 and entry-level and semi-skilled candidates required a score of 85. The remaining 2 draws targeted 29 early childhood educators and 11 healthcare professionals with minimum scores of 60. Candidates were considered from the skilled worker and international graduate categories and included express entry candidates. Now let's talk about Manitoba. Pages Manitoba held a draw on May 18 for candidates in 3 categories. Skilled workers in Manitoba were invited in 2 separate draws. The first was an occupation-specific draw for 287 candidates with a National Occupation Classification Code of 7,330 transport and transit drivers. They required a minimum score of 610. The second skilled worker draw was not occupation-specific and invited 191 candidates with minimum scores of 701. There were also 27 candidates invited from the skilled workers overseas category with a minimum score of 721 and 21 candidates invited from the international education stream. The Government of Manitoba announced this week that the province will now provide $4 million to 24 newcomer service provider organizations whose projects were selected through the Newcomer Community Integration Support (NCIS) program. Now let's talk about Ontario. Ontario held a draw for skilled trades candidates under the Express Entry Skilled Trades stream on May 18. The province invited 1,694 candidates in skilled trades occupations with a CRS score that ranged from 250-482. Candidates under this stream require 1 year of full-time work experience that must be a. obtained within the last 2 years from the date of submitting their application to the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, OINP. B. in one or more of the occupations that were identified in their Express Entry Profile. C. in Ontario while maintaining legal status in Canada. Prince Edward Island. PNP. Prince Edward Island held its second draw of the month on May 18. PAY invited 155 candidates under its Labour and Express Entry stream and 3 candidates in the Business Work Permit Entrepreneur category. These candidates needed a minimum score of 65 to be considered. Over the past year, the province has moved away from the previous pattern of holding draws once a month. March this year saw 3 draws in the PAY PNP while April had only 1. Now let's talk about Saskatchewan PNP. Saskatchewan also held its second draw of the month on May 18. The province invited 260 candidates under its Occupations in Demand stream and 784 Express Entry candidates. Both categories required that candidates had a minimum score of 67. All candidates required an Educational Credential Assessment, ECA.
That is over today in video. Thanks for watching entire video. Hopefully information useful to you. See you later in next video.